Hello, my name is Jackie, and I will be taking you through another Vinyasa Flow yoga class today. If you have not been here in the last few weeks, I start with mainly a warm-up. We set an intention, go through a flow, do some balancing, and end with a cool down, and then final rest. So anybody between, beginners, intermediates, professionals are welcome to join. I'm going to just do the basic class format from the last few weeks, but add a few things, hold a few poses a little more. So when you're ready, please join me on the mat or in any safe space to begin our class for today. We'll begin in a seated position. We're going to go through some breaths. I'm going to do a deep breath in and out. Filling those lungs and into the stomach as we breathe in and out. Maybe holding it a little longer as we breathe in and out. Maybe as we connect with our breath, we roll out our neck a little bit clockwise and counterclockwise. Maybe we bring our chin to our chest and chin to the sky. One more time, chin to chest and chin to the sky. Maybe we roll our shoulders back away from our ears. Do that a couple times. Rolling back and then rolling them forward. Let's take 2 more deep breaths in and out. Last one in and out. When you're ready, we'll put our knees a little more than hip distance apart. Hands stretch out and dip our hips back into child's pose. And breathe here in the stretch. Maybe walking your fingertips out, stretch out those arms a little more. Maybe connecting your head to the mat, letting your thoughts flow from your mind through the mat, letting it all go, and focusing on that breath. I would like to set an intention for today's class. You can set your own. Maybe you need more patience today. Maybe you want a less stressful day, or you just want to get some work done. Whatever the intention may be, set your intention now and let it flow from your mind and connect to the mat. And just breathe here for a couple moments. Let's take one more breath here. And when you're ready, you'll come back up into a tabletop position. Your hands are under your shoulders. Your feet are under your hips, about hip width apart. We'll get into some cat-cows. We'll inhale, our belly drops, our head raises. And exhale, curve that spine upward. You can go at your own pace or follow along with me. We'll breathe in. Hold it, and out. Dropping that stomach, breathing in. And out, rounding that spine. Breathing in. And out. We'll do 3 more. Breathing in. Our stomach drops. And out. And in. And out. Last one, hold this one a little longer. Breathing in. And out. Now if you'll bring your back to a neutral spine, we'll reach our hand up, our right hand. Our gaze shifts upward, warming up that spine. Beginning to feel our muscles loosen up a little bit. Maybe wiggling those fingers. And bringing that hand down, extending our left arm up. Again, maybe wiggling those fingers, shifting our gaze upward. Warming up that core, feeling the weight shift. And we'll bring that arm down. Our right leg comes up. Maybe rolling out that ankle clockwise and counterclockwise. Bringing that leg back to the mat. We'll extend our left leg out. Again, rolling out that ankle clockwise and counterclockwise. Holding it there. And bringing that down to the mat. We'll do opposite arm, opposite leg. Our left arm rises, right leg comes up as well. Feel that core tighten as you stabilize. And breathe here. Maybe wiggle those fingers, bring awareness. And lower those down. Right arm, left leg rises. Again, stabilizing through those. Warming up that core. Feeling the heat. And lower those down. Be with yourself in table for a moment. Maybe do a few more cat-cows during our warm-up. Now if you'll shift your butt to your heels, we're going to bring our hands to a fist position, and we're going to put them on either side of our spine as we gently bend back, opening that chest up. You should feel it through your shoulders. If you want, you can lift up and pull back to a light bend into camel. If you want an even deeper stretch, you can grab a hold of your ankles and bring that chest up to the sky. Or if you're more comfortable, putting your fist to your back and bending back, stay in whatever comfortable position you find. Whether it's seated, extended, or grabbing those back ankles. Find that breath. Stay with that breath. And our hands come back down to the mat, tabletop. Maybe a few more cat-cows. And rise back up into that camel position you find that is more comfortable. Again, we're making those fists, placing them between our spine. We can lift up, gently bend back, or you can grab those ankles again and lift up to the chest. And we'll come back down to tabletop. Move those knees out and drop back into child's pose. Enjoy this pose. Feel how comfortable it is. Finding that breath before we begin our flow. We'll rise back up into tabletop. We'll curl those back toes up. Our hips come back into downward dog. Maybe walking out that a little bit if our calf muscles are a little tight. Sinking back deeper with our hips. And hop or step your way up to the front of your mat. Trace your body and walk those hands up slowly, hands above our head, and they meet at our side for mountain pose. Our hips and our feet are aligned. Our shoulders are rolled back away from our ears. And we find that breath. Make sure you're scooted up towards the front of your mat. And we'll drop our right leg back, bending that front knee. Our back foot is about a 45-degree angle and our hands come up to warrior one. You could scoot that leg back if you need more of a deeper stretch, but don't bend that front knee past your front toe. Moving that foot to a 90-degree, we bend deeper into warrior two. Dropping that back arm down to our back leg. Our front arm comes up to reverse warrior. Maybe your arm is at your thigh, your knee, or your calf, wherever you are. Just stretch comfortably. Cycling back up to warrior two. Connecting that front arm to that front knee. Bring that back arm up into extended side angle. And if you want, you can extend that knee out into triangle pose for a deeper stretch. But if you're comfortable staying here, stay here. Coming back up to warrior two. Today we're going to extend this front leg to a 90-degree. We're going to bring our arms up and bend down to our hips and rise up. These are called moon stars. I'll face you guys. So we're dropping our elbows to our knees and rising up. Dropping our elbows to our knees and rising up. We'll do 3 more. Elbow to knee and rise up. Down and up. 1 more. Down and up. From here, we'll bend to our left side. Cycling our arms up to that right side. And then back up towards the middle and down towards the middle. Finding that breath here, sinking deeper into that stretch with every breath. Connecting those knees and rising up one last time. I'll come back to where I was, and we're going to cycle back into that warrior two. Bring that front knee facing forward, that back leg still at a 90-degree angle. And we cycle up into mountain pose. And we'll do the same thing on the left side. Come up to the front of your mat. And drop that left leg back to a 45. Our front knee is not bent past our front toe, and our arms come up to warrior one. Feel how different this side feels compared to the last. Extend that back leg to a 90. Sink into warrior two. Staying with that breath. Drop that back arm to that back leg. Extending that front arm up to a reverse warrior. Again, dropping your arm lower for a deeper stretch, or staying where you are if you're comfortable. Coming back up to warrior two. And extending that front arm to that front knee. Our back arm comes up. Our gaze shifts overhead. Staying here or extending into triangle. Rising back up into warrior two. Staying in warrior two, give me one moment. Sorry about that. Staying into warrior two. Taking that front leg and twisting it to that 90-degree as well. And we'll do 5 moonshine. 1, 2, 3, and one last one. Again, we'll bring our arms up and bend to that left side. Cycling our arms up overhead to our right side. And one last time, coming up through the middle and down through the middle. Relaxing here, letting your head drop, and your arms fold to the ground. Rising up overhead slowly. We'll bring that front leg, bring it back forward to warrior two. And cycling all the way up into that mountain position. Breathing here. We'll do it each side one last time as we drop that right leg back, bending that front knee, and our arms come up to our sides for warrior one. Rotating that back foot out to a 90-degree for warrior two. Scooting that back foot back if you need a deeper stretch. And dropping that back arm, rising overhead to reverse warrior. Bringing those arms back up for warrior two. And dropping that front arm, gazing up at our back arm as it reaches the sky. And extending that knee out to triangle if it's comfortable for you. Finding that breath, feeling that stretch. And coming back up. Again, we're gonna extend that front foot to a 90-degree as well. I'm gonna face you guys, extending those front legs to 90. And our arms come up and meet down, elbows up and down. Inhaling up and exhaling down. 2 more. Inhaling up and down. Last one. And down. Rising up overhead and bending to our left. Circling up into our right side. One last time, up through the middle and down through the middle. Rising up slowly, rotating that front leg back forward and bending it into warrior two. And cycling up into mountain. Ground yourself here before we begin our last set on the left side. Bring your feet up to the front of the mat. We'll drop that left leg back to a 45, bending that front knee and arms come up to warrior one. Dropping that back foot to a 90, to warrior two. Dropping that back arm to our back leg, rising up with that front arm to reverse warrior. Rising back up to warrior two, and dropping that front arm to that front knee. Rising up with our back hands and extending that knee if it's comfortable for triangle. Find that breath. Rising up back into warrior two. We'll extend that front leg up to a 90, facing forward. Our arms come up and we drop down. And up as we inhale and down. Last one, inhale and exhale. So we bring our arms up and bending to the left. Cycle up and to the right. Up through the middle and up down the middle. Rising up slowly. That front leg is back at front of us, bent forward into warrior two. And we cycle up into mountain. From here, we'll begin our sun salutations. We'll do 3 sets. So with each one, we'll sink a little deeper into each stretch and hold them a little longer. Our hands rise up. Swan dive forward. Hands grazing the mat. Halfway lift. Hands are at our knees. Back is flat. And release all the way down. Hands to mat. Step or hop your feet back. Our arms are underneath our shoulders. Our feet are hip width apart. And our back is flat into a plank position. Lower yourself down slowly and rise up through the chest for cobra. Feeling how that feels on our back, on our arms and legs. And breathing into every part. As we curl our toes under, move our hips back into downward dog. Again, walking them out if it's still a little tight. And hop or step your way up to the front of the mat. Tracing your legs to your hips, arms overhead, into mountain. Be aware of how that made your body feel. If you need to hold the stretches a little longer. Maybe you need to modify so that you're more comfortable. Go at your own pace. We'll do this 2 more times. Arms come up overhead. Swan dive forward. Halfway lift. Hands to mat. Hop or step your feet back into that plank position. And hold it there. Feeling your core warm. Maybe your arms are a little shaky, your legs are a little shaky. Be aware and be mindful as you lower yourself down and lift up into cobra. Letting that breath. Curling those toes under, hips sink back into downward dog. Hop or step your feet up to the front. Trace your body up slowly. Arms come up overhead. And we meet in mountain. Finding that breath, connecting with your body. One last time. Arms come up overhead. Swan dive forward. Fingertips grace the mat. Lift up halfway. And hands come down to the mat. Hop or step your feet back into that plank. And hold it here. Hold it here for a couple moments. Really engage that core. Find that breath here. And lower yourself down. And lift up through cobra. Curling those toes under. Moving those hips back into downward dog. Hop or step your feet up to the front. Lifting up slowly. Your head is the last thing to come up. And we meet in mountain pose. Ground yourself here. Maybe wiggle your fingertips. Connect with that breath. Do one last balancing move for today. Our arms come up and our hips sink back as if we're sitting in a chair into seated chair pose. Making sure those knees don't go further than those front toes. You could drop and sink your hips back forward for a deeper stretch. Using that core to stabilize, we'll rise up to mountain for a breath. And exhale, sinking back into it. One last time, rising up into the mountain. Inhaling. On the next inhale, sink those hips back one last time. Rising up in the mountain. Our hands come up. Swan dive. Our hands meet the mat. As we drop those legs back into plank, dropping those knees under our hips, and our hands come under our shoulders for tabletop. Breathe here for a moment. Maybe do a cat-cow. And when you're ready, meet me in a seated position, and we'll take our legs out into that V again. Feeling that stretch. Our hands come up, and we bend to our left side. Breathing into that left leg. We rise up and down that right leg. And one last time, coming up and down the middle. And we'll rise up. Our hands come down. We'll shift our legs to the front of the mat. See how this feels. Our hands come up and we reach down forward. Maybe your hands are at your calves or your knees, wherever you are, just with every breath, sink deeper. Rising up, I would like you to turn over to your stomach. I want you to rest your hands in front of your face, and I want you to take your right arm and grab that right leg and pull it towards your buttocks. Maybe it touches, maybe it's hovering in the air, but feel that stretch through your leg, your right leg. And let that right foot go. Taking that left arm, we'll reach back for our left leg and pull that leg in towards our butts. Now I want you to try to grab both legs, and I want you to push the tops of your feet and pull your hands and your chest up. This is called a bow pose. And I want you to hold it there using your core to strengthen. Pressing those feet into those palms to rise up and release. Our hands come back up. One more time, grab that right leg, pull it in close. Dropping that right leg and grabbing that left leg, pulling that one in close for half bow, and then connecting with the right leg, pushing down those feet to those palms and rising up into bow. Finding that breath and breathing into this pose. And releasing all the way down to the mat. When you're ready, slowly turn all the way onto your back. And we'll meet here in final rest. If this is a comfy position for you, stay here. If not, get in a position that is the most comfy. So just relax and be aware for a couple moments. If you have a blanket or a pillow, feel free to get that out now. And just let your mind flow from your mind to the mat, letting go of everything. Becoming less aware, more conscious. Maybe coming back to that intention you set, remembering that intention and letting it go. Letting it flow from your mind to the mat. Thinking of nothing but how your body feels today. Just thinking about that breath. Also thanking yourself for spending this time to focus on your mind, your body, and your soul. Setting aside that time to just be aware. Sinking deeper and deeper into that mat, every breath. When you're ready, begin to wiggle those fingers and toes, bringing that consciousness back, bring that awareness back, but still having that empty mind, only to connect with that breath. When you're ready, I would like you to turn onto one side using an arm as a pillow and the other as a little armrest. Taking your time, rising up into that seated position where we first met. Our arms and hands come to our knees. Breathing. Our arms come up overhead, our palms connect, and we bring it to our mind, our mouth, and our heart. Namaste. Thank you so much for watching this week's class. I hope you have a lovely rest of your week and an amazing weekend. And I hope to see you again next Tuesday. Thank you again for watching.